Hello, superstars! Let's get started with today's Norwood News newsletter, which is our weekly newsletter that is published every Friday. Today is Friday, May 28th, 2021. So we've got some important dates coming up that we want to go over first. Let's start with Monday, May 31st. As we've mentioned previously, schools and offices are closed due to the holiday, which is Memorial Day. Now, as such, because it's a shorter week, Wednesday, June 2nd, just like previously, turns into a live instruction day, which means students who are supposed to be in school come to the building. Those who are virtual just follow their Monday schedule, okay? So follow your Monday schedule as if it were Monday on Wednesday, June 2nd. And then a week from then, on Wednesday, June 9th, is going to be another asynchronous day for students, which means no real live instruction unless you have some small groups, some specialized instructions or meetings with your teacher arranged, and or your special area class like gym, music, and art, those kinds of things. So other than that, you work from home and work independently at your pace. So let's start with the CCBC Family Literacy ESOL program for this summer. So there is a family literacy program for non-native English speakers that's designed to help families who maybe are trying to work on their English to get some applicative English that they learn, not just general vocabulary, but it's more specific to their work and to helping their children's education. And so just to qualify, you have to have an active student that is living in your home that's enrolled in a Baltimore County public school or in the Head Start program or the Judy Center. And if anyone's interested in doing this or you know somebody who might be, they have to register in person. It's a free course, but for the nearest location is CCBC Dundalk campus at the Mathematics and Science Hall, which is known as the MASH for abbreviation, the MASH building. And it's both sign-in registration sessions are on Thursday, June 10th. They're at different times. They have one in the evening and one in the morning, but you have to go in person because you have to take a sort of an entrance exam, and it takes a little time. So you have to set aside a few hours for this registration. Remember, it's a free course. So I know it takes a little bit of time, and you are going to have at least one time to go back to do it in person, an ending evaluation. But other than that, the sessions meet via Zoom. They do have an in-person one as well if you're interested more of an in-person class rather than Zoom, but Zoom makes it a little bit easier if you want to do that. And classes are 3 times a week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from July 6th to August 18th. So all that information, you can click on here for the program flyer, and that just tells you all the information. It's got the other CCBC campuses, so if you don't mind driving out to a different area, if they don't have any more availability nearby in Dundalk, you can go check one of these other ones out. But like I said here, you can see there's a 10 a.m. and there's a 6 p.m. session for registration in different rooms for Thursday, June 10th. And it also tells you how to register, and it gives you a little more information about the Zoom classes and versus the in-person and how this all works out. And here is the address also for the CCBC Dundalk campus. So you know exactly where to go, or if you want to register at a different location for whatever reason. So all that is here, or you can also feel free to reach out to us. And if you have any questions, they give you a number here that you can contact if you have any questions, or an email about this program specifically. Remember, it's free of charge. In the past, they've had it in the schools at times, but due to the pandemic and the recovery effort, they're just not having it quite yet that way that they used to. And the second link that we have enclosed here is an actual link to the CCBC Dundalk campus, which has a map. So if you need to know exactly where to go in terms of finding that MASH building and the room, you can find more information here, and it has a map that you can interact with or print one or download a PDF as well. The additional benefits for SNAP-EBT recipients. If you are already receiving SNAP-EBT benefits, you can qualify for further discounts, like on Amazon or for free groceries, since they partner with Whole Food and they own Whole Food. So basically, if you were already receiving SNAPs, this is the easiest thing to do. SNAP is what was formerly known as the Food Stamps Program. It's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. And you can just click on this link when you've signed into your Amazon account already. And so here you see like you have to sign in still up here. So just sign in and then click on the link again. But it'll basically allow you to add your SNAP card, and you put in the information of your card. And then you can see what other things you're eligible for. So there's just another extra thing and bonus to help everyone who needs a little extra hand. If you are interested in signing up for SNAP, it's a very involved application process, but nonetheless, you can do it if you want. You can just click here to see if you're eligible, because this document here that I have here is going to talk as if it's a little bit outdated. It's going to talk about 2020, but a lot of the information is still valid in terms of how it works and who's eligible, and it even has the link here if you want to actually apply now. So don't think of it as something that's incorrect. The dates are fine. The information is still very valid, even though the dates are from a little bit before. And it'll take you to where you want to go if you still want to learn more about it. But it'll basically simplify it all down for you if you are interested. Now, we did just finish having our coffee and conversation just the other week. So Miss Julien, our social worker, was the one who presented and spoke to parents in that session about emotional regulation, which is a really important tool. She wants to remind everyone during her social worker corner this week that that is not a skill that we are all intuitively born with and good at. We have to practice it just like anything else, just like riding a bike or any other skill that we have to practice and do more and more of. And especially modeling it for our children, we as parents and adults need to make sure we have it very well developed too. So it can be very difficult to model that if we ourselves get easily triggered and don't find ourselves in the best situation to be able to be there to help emotionally our children get to a neutral state when they have difficulty regulating either when they're extremely sad or angry or in some altered zone that they can't get back to that green zone. So nonetheless, reach out to her if you have any questions. She has her email here. And she's also included some video links, which is basically a Sesame Street video series about feelings and emotions. So younger kids will definitely love seeing some of their characters just talk about these different concepts that we've discussed. And there are all these 5 videos that we've included individual links for, which will be included in the description of this video. As always, you're going to be able to just check them out here directly. And also, there's some books. So there's, for example, 15 Spanish bilingual books about feelings. So in English and Spanish or mixed bilingually, you can just go down this list and check them out. And if you want to buy them or look for them at your library, and they are very popular books, so most likely you will be able to find them easily, including, look, here's the Listening to My Body, Escuchando Mi Cuerpo. So that's the one that we talked about the other week. And also, there is a list here that has been coalesced by Huffington Post that has 35 books that talk about children's emotions. These are very popular books. And once again, Listening to My Body makes this list. These are really, really good books. Some of them newer, some of them that have been around for a while, and they're really good about helping children manage and cope with feelings. So Ms. Boblitz, our librarian, wants to remind everyone to start returning their library books as we're getting close to the end of the year. So they could be hidden in all sorts of places. Library books love to go and hide, just like socks in a dryer. So if you want to start the process in helping your child find them or have them go find them, here are some examples of some of the various places that they could be, like under or behind a TV stand, the backseat of a car, under a bed mattress, or behind a bed. You might have to move around some furniture if you're missing. You know you have one, but you can't find it, or in a closet. It might be underneath some things, mixed in some things. Maybe you have a book collection already, and it's mixed in with your personal books. A drawer or a dresser, a book bag from a previous year. Maybe you changed book bags, and you just didn't even check your last year's book bag. Under a couch, between the cushions, under cushions. These are all places that just one might not always think of. So just please begin the process of trying to look for these library books and getting them in as soon as possible. If you come to school, just bring them in while you're in school. Or if you're virtual, just come give us a call, and so we can be ready to take them off your hands when you want to swing by sometime. We're happy to do that for you. Now, there's a summer camp program that is actually quite affordable. I know this still seems like a lot of money for some people, but if any of you are familiar with how much summer camps usually cost, they can be $200, $300, even $400 depending, especially if they include meals, if they're longer. So here is a chance to get for just $125 per child a 5-week camp that is fun with arts and crafts and different special events, and it's local here to the Dundalk area. So where can you sign your child up? It's here. You have to go. It's going to be held at the BERKSHIRE Elementary School. The address, and you can look at the flyer that's attached here. And all the information that you want to know, it's going to be Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. from July 6th through August 5th. That's when the camp runs. So it's 5 weeks, and you have to register in person at Berkshire Elementary School in the community recreation room. And they have set aside some specific dates and times for registration, like Monday, May 24th, that's already passed, but Saturday, June 5th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and Monday, June 14th, 5 to 7 p.m. So you still have some opportunities if you want to sign up. So if you have any more questions, you can see here they have contact person Donna Thomas, who's a chairperson. They've left an email address as well as the phone number for the director, Julie Thomas. Now, BCPS sent out recently in April and May some letters about vision and hearing screening. So those usually happen the first year that your child enters the school system, either pre-K or kindergarten, and also first graders if they haven't done it. So because of the disruption with the pandemic that has affected as early as in the 2019 to 20 school year, then this current school year, they want students anywhere within those grades, pre-K, kindergarten, or first grade, who they don't have a record of having it done. They want to push them to get this done. This is a very basic evaluation. If you've actually done this at a specialist or at a higher level, you can send us a report and that should satisfy the requirement. But if you haven't gotten out of your way to do the screening, which normally they do in the schools, they're not doing it in the schools currently during the recovery effort of the pandemic. So they're partnering with certain sites throughout the county. And the local one is the Eastern Family Resource Center. But don't call the center if you're used to going there for other things. You have to do it through the Vision and Hearing Screening Service, Office of Health Services that they have in the letter. So I've included here the information that you want to either call if you want to do an appointment that way. That's this 410-887-2721 number. Or you can just click here and it'll take you to a Sign Up Genius. And it's basically just a way for you to very easily sign up by looking at the EFRC, which stands for Eastern Family Resource Center. You can see here a lot of people have already taken advantage, but there are some that are open. And if you're willing to drive a little farther, you can go to other ones too. But scroll down. As of this moment, the most recent ones that are available at the EFRC, we're looking at right here. They have some, what date does this belong to? That would be Wednesday, June 2nd. So these can quickly fill up, but they still have a lot available. And right now they're going all the way up through, it looks like Wednesday, June 16th. If your child has to miss a little bit of school to be able to do this, it's fine. Make sure you do it, and it'll be excused if you bring the confirmation of the appointment. But this is really important. So if you haven't gotten this on record, or if you're not sure whether your child needs to, because maybe you didn't get the letter, we've included here the qualification status for those who should have gotten the letter. And so if your child is from out of state, new to the state of Maryland, does not have one of these hearing and vision screenings within the last 12 months on record, or if they're in pre-kindergarten, a 4-year-old program, a kindergartner who was not screened previously in pre-K, as well as any first or 8th grader. So if you fall into those categories or you're not sure, give us a call here at the school too. You can also call Nurse Debbie directly. We left her phone number here, which is the 443-809-6029. And you can ask if your child needs to be screened. Otherwise, if you've already done it or done it recently, that's not an issue. But if you didn't get a letter, you may still be eligible if your child is in one of those grades or circumstances. So please follow up. And please remember to also bring an ID. We talked about this last week. We still have parents that continue to come and just assume that they don't need to bring ID because we checked it once or twice before. We could have substitutes, or we always reserve the right to ask once again to check ID. So I know it seems annoying, especially if we've said okay and we've noticed you and seen you, but it's just a school policy that you always have to be able to produce that ID. We will not release your child otherwise. And it's especially true for older siblings, other relatives, friends of the family, anybody else who's not used to doing it, still may be listed on emergency contacts. And if you need to add them to emergency contacts, use the COVID daily health screening form that we send out for every month. Use that form or ask us to send you one so that we can get that in person. It has to be in writing for someone to regularly come other than you to pick up your children. The art contest about road safety ends on June 4th. Just click on the links for the entry form or to get more information, including past winners. And the emergency broadband benefit is still ongoing as of May 12th. So you can read about it to get some more information about what discounts you might be able to be eligible for. It's for families in need. And you can also watch this video that explains it pretty well. Just apply online by clicking on this link, or you can download an English form, and they have instructions available in 9 languages too. So this is a jam-packed, and I'm sorry of how long this has taken, but jam-packed newsletter. The virtual learning program ends its registration for next year, for fall 2021 to 2022, on May 31st. So that's your last chance if you want your kids to not be automatically enrolled in person 5 days a week next school year. You do not have to do anything if you want them to be in person, whether they're virtual or in person now. They will automatically be enrolled in person. So only those who have to go out of their way to be virtual are the ones that have to do anything, and that's until Monday, May 31st. That's your last chance. Registration is still ongoing for next year. So thanks everyone for your patience. Have a wonderful weekend. The weather keeps getting nicer. Watch out for all those cicadas. And as always, keep on learning.